Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my entire iPhone collection. This has been a highly requested video and I did do one of these earlier last year, but I've purchased a lot more iPhones that I thought I'd take an updated look at my iPhone collection. I currently own a total of 33 iPhones. And in this video, we're going to be taking a quick look at every single one of those. Starting it off with the iPhone first generation, which was released in 2007. This is the original iPhone. Mine is in an 8GB storage configuration. I don't have its original box or any of its accessories except for the dock. It is in relatively good shape. The LCD doesn't seem to have any dead pixels or anything like that. The outer casing does have some marks, which is very common on these older phones, as cases really didn't exist for this iPhone. Now I do have a screen protector on this to protect the screen from scratches. The next phone we're going to be taking a look at here is an iPhone 3GS 8GB on iOS 6.1.6. This used to be my sister's and then my mother's iPhone before she gave it to me, and now it's just part of my iPhone collection. Another iPhone 3GS I have is running iOS 3.1.2. It's a 16GB, and I did a restoration video on this not long ago. I got this for free and it was totally smashed. I completely restored this phone into mint condition. You can see that it still has the plastic on the back from the new housing. Next, we're going to be taking a look at all of my iPhone 4s. You can see I have them on every version of iOS, and this is most of my iPhone 4s, with one on iOS 4.2.1, 5.0.1, 6.1.3, and 2 on iOS 7.1.2. The one second from the end was my original and first iPhone. Next up, we have an iPhone 4 32GB 24-karat gold plated running iOS 4.3.5. This phone also has SSH blobs for iOS 5. This isn't its original box there in the background, but that is an absolutely amazing iPhone. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at my iPhone 4Ss. I also have one of those on every version of iOS. I also have a couple on iOS 6 and on iOS 8. Now, one of the iOS 8 iPhone 4Ss has SSH blobs for iOS 5.0.1, iOS 5.1.1, iOS 5.1.1 revision 1, iOS 6.0.1, and 6.1.3 blobs. The rest of these phones are in absolutely amazing condition, and one of those is 64GB, which is the third one there on the left. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at all of my 4-inch phones. This includes the 5s, 5Cs, 5Ss, and SE. I don't actually currently own any 5Ss, 3G, 6S, or iPhone 8 and 10, but what I do own here is a lot of other phones. Now you can see here, taking a look, we have my mum's old iPhone 5C. She purchased this brand new. It's a 32GB model running iOS 10.2.1. It comes with its original box and everything, and is in really good condition, as it's always had a tempered glass screen protector and a case on the back. You can see that it is complete with its box and all of its original accessories, which is great for my collection. The next phone here is the $12.50 iPhone 5C. When I first got this, it was totally smashed. I did a restoration video on it, and it is one of my most viewed videos with almost 500,000 views. This phone is a 32GB iPhone 5C running iOS 9.3.4, which is jailbreakable, although it isn't jailbroken. This phone is in relatively good condition with quite big scratches on the back. My next phone is one of my favorite iPhones that I own. It's an iPhone 5 16GB boxed on iOS 6.0.2, which is its original firmware. Although it is a 16GB, it is still one of my favorite iPhones due to the fact that it is on iOS 6. My other iPhone 5s, I have another iPhone 5 on iOS 6.1.4, 16GB. I have a 64GB on iOS 10.0.1, which was iCloud locked. I recently just got that unlocked. The one next to that is a 16GB on iOS 10.3.3. And another one there is on 10.3.3 as well, but is 64GB. All these phones are in relatively good condition except for the 16GB, which has a lot of scratches and marks on the back. Next up, I have my iPhone SE 16GB rose gold, complete with box. This iPhone runs iOS 11.2.5. When I first got it, it was completely smashed, so there is a restoration video on this if you're interested. This is also the only iPhone I own that runs iOS 11. Moving across to the bigger sized iPhones, we have my iPhone 6 64GB on iOS 10.3.3. This has dead baseband, broken compass, the Touch ID sensor doesn't work, and the screen feels really unresponsive. I'm probably going to be getting rid of this phone relatively soon and just selling it off cheaply because it's very faulty and doesn't work correctly, although it is alright for testing. This is my other iPhone 6. This is a 128GB iPhone 6 Plus on iOS 8.4.1. It's in absolutely mint condition with original screen and everything. It's in an Apple case usually and has a tempered glass screen protector on the front. It was iCloud locked when I first got it, but I took it to Apple and got it unlocked. And lastly, I have my iPhone 7 256GB on iOS 10.3.3. I picked this phone up 364 days ago, so it has 1 day left on warranty as posting this video. It is in absolutely immaculate condition. I've owned it since day one and have treated this thing really nicely, and it is absolutely amazing and has to be hands down my favorite color of iPhone ever released. Now the rest of these phones here, the two on the right are iCloud locked, the two in the middle are iCloud locked but reset, and the two on the left actually work fine. There's no iCloud lock or anything like that. One of them is a 4S on iOS 6 and the other one is a 4 on iOS 7. The screens are just dead and need replacement. Other than that, those other ones are iCloud locked. I went ahead and stacked up all of my iPhones, and you can see just how big of a stack that you can get out of these. It's almost as tall as my 20-inch Apple Cinema display. It's kind of amazing on how many phones I've got, and I didn't realize how many I had until I actually stacked them together. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're not already subscribed, go and hit that subscribe button. If you guys are interested in checking out content just like this, go ahead and check out the iPhone playlist. Link will be down in the description. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.